have a bit of a, I'm trying to go for something here, but, they kind of at the starting gate and they really did kind of take off running a little bit. So I think that it works. They are kind of our dark horse, so to speak. And I think that there's a lot of potential here for this team. I foresee a lot of great puns again this evening, Freddie. I think we're going to have a lot of fun with this one. But let's jump on in, folks. It's week number 2 here at ESL Impact Season 8, South America, and it's our second and last South American game of the week. Let's kick things off here for Magic, or Quem, Elas, for those that are maybe unfamiliar with the name change, the brand change. Looking to step up a little bit here. Not in the fastest of fashions, however. It's going to take a hot second, but here we go. Executil to come through. Some nice smokes coming out. Now we need to push, but we are not. We are very slowly making our way up the stairs. And, well, interestingly, the call is now going to be to back away and give over the site entirely. Bomb's going to get planted. They're pushing all the way into spawn. This almost feels choreographed. This is hilarious. Everybody is meeting up towards the A ramp side. We've got a massive stack here waiting for the CTs to start making their way in, and it's turning into quite a slaughter. Selex is the last one left. She made her way through mid, but it's you that shuts it down.
Okay. I was not expecting that to go as cleanly as it did for Curralzinho. And you do love to say it, the Benny Hill music, it honestly really felt like that. Just everyone avoiding each other for so long, and then all coming head to head in CT. But to be honest, 4 Magic play that quite correctly, in my opinion. They realize there's no point fighting through the smokes, especially when they've got no one on the bomb site, etc. So they then fight for middle, make sure there's no one lurking, and then group up. Issue is, Curralzinho, simply put, just hit some really nice shots when push comes to shove in CT. So it's a good start for what is the underdogs. I think for Curralzinho, last week against the Killers, that was definitely a difficult opponent. But 100%, 4 Magic are probably, I'd say, quite a step above the Killers, especially just individually. Like when I look at Anorex, Babs, and Jossie, like these 3, if there was a third, but if there was an MIBR still around, or like a Fluxo, right? If there wasn't just those 2 main orgs, they'd be heading that third team.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking forward to seeing how that pans itself out, because it looks like we've got quite a bit of a fight here for our 3rd place team in South America. It's very, very hotly contested. Atrix looking to actually snag
2nd place team.
Yeah. Well, you see, because I'm kind of counting Atrix in that one. I feel like maybe they've snagged that for the moment.
I think when I see Atrix beating Furia, to me, it isn't now Atrix fighting for 2nd place. It almost feels like every team has a possibility, because Atrix, when I see 4 Magic versus Atrix on the server, I can see 4 Magic winning that game. But against Fury, it's always like, oh, well, Fury probably going to win this. So the fact that Fury have lost one, and then if MIBR beat them, that means Fury have lost 2, which really just opens the floodgates. Like, that's when so much opportunity arises for not just Atrix, everyone. Like, Atrix walked, so everyone else could run.
Maybe wondering why we've gone on a tangent about this, but let's face it, with Atrix beating Furia, everything is up in the air, and there is actually a world in which Furia don't make the next LAN. I might be counting my chickens a little bit here. We are only week 2, but there are some serious potential repercussions.
It's very cutthroat. Like this is like, there's only 2 spots, and even if Atrix lose to MIBR but then beat everyone else, and MIBR beat Furia, it's like, that's it. Atrix come 2nd, Furia come 3rd.
Yep. It's hectic out here. But we'll focus back in here because, 4 Magic. Not the greatest spend here on round 3. They did manage to yoink one of those Galils on the exit, so they'll have a slew of MP9s. Trying to just keep a little bit more money in the gas tank for that next round. And with Selex sitting on 2.6 here, you've got to think they're trying to get that AWP out as early as humanly possible. Could be a massive difference maker for them. We'll be holding some very close angles here, particularly towards mid. The rest are relatively far back, which is a concern. You've got to kind of weigh up getting information and being able to back away with the close quarters nature of the MP9. It's a bit of a delicate dance to get the exact right recipe. Mixed a lot of metaphors there, but that's okay. For Magic playing this so slow and quiet. Very much an info starve game at the moment.
Whenever I see a purchase,
but it's in the wrong place. Go on.
Yeah, whenever I see a purchase like this, it's kind of it's normally backed up by something very fast. So the fact that we're getting into this late game to me only favors Curralzinho, as they're able to get the bomb down, play the 4 versus 2, have the weaponry advantage. But I wouldn't count 4 Magic out just yet.
Well, they've certainly made some waves here. Ana X getting the kill onto you there, and that does give them a little bit of a numbers advantage here. But again, weaponry not favoring them, and Josie has to try to play this kind of last woman standing on the side. Teammate now coming to back up. How has she got it done that? Backed up by Selax. Beautiful spray down there. They've managed to take out everyone. They do have a kit, so the defuse is going to come through. And in what seemed like an unlikely round, well, they've snatched back some control.
Disastrous, to be honest, for Curralzinho on their map pick, because this is for Magic opening and leading to the future. Like that's just such a crazy round to be getting, because they weren't fully investing. They were playing for the next round. This was all about damage. It was all about getting a few kills with the MP9, extra $600. But they win it out, and Selax, who gets 3 kills, one of the new additions to this roster. I was talking about how she is going to raise the floor alongside Brett and Dina, and would you look at that? She gets 3 kills and already is out on the AWP.
Yeah, they were angling for that hard, even in that previous round. I think they could have actually put a little bit more spend into it, but definitely the right call made. And they managed to farm up a whole lot of extra cash as well with the MP9. So feeling a lot more comfortable into this one, and have done some serious damage to Curralzinho's economy as well. Sure, they still do have 4 AKs, but if they lose this round, we even things out, and that's some broken econ. Quick update as well. MIBR currently 10-5 against Dusty Roses. That is their second map. It is going more or less as predicted. Funnily enough, sometimes predictions actually do make sense. So it's looking like that's going to come to a head fairly shortly. In the meantime, again, another very slow round here from 4 Magic. I don't hate it, but we did see that this can kind of bite you. It can come back to bite you if you aren't very well coordinated. Oh, Selax. That was an important kill to get. Now, Brendina, flushed out by the Molotov, has to try and dance through the flames. Unfortunately, loses her life. And while that's happening, Josie has also fallen to the wayside. So now a little bit of a miracle needs to be mounted here in this 2 versus 4. The first kill to come through makes it a little bit more doable. Not going to be able to stop that bomb from being planted. Babs and Ana X are pretty far removed from one another, and the real issue here is when Babs comes through, there is presence in mid, so she's going to be pincered up. Ana X is the only one that really has a chance here to maybe stay alive a little bit longer. She's brought it to a 2 versus 2, but time is ticking away, and that pressure is going to start to mount. Ana X realizes there might be somebody there towards main. Many footsteps being heard here. Oh my god, the timing. You got the kill. She got this. Okay, it wasn't her that got it. Pack got it. But it doesn't matter. Either way, it's a round win for Curralzinho. Never underestimate the Deagle.
Yeah, back and forth it goes. Used such an instrumental part in that round because she never really shows face up until the very end. And it's just such a difficult retake for Magic because, as you mentioned, there's that presence in mid, and Magic don't even know that it's there really up until she strikes. And then a lovely crossfire established. Even though Kara, I was a little bit cautious when she kind of swung out and faced CT by herself. That did feel like it gave Magic a way back into that retake, but ultimately it's Curralzinho going blow for blow. And even though this was the kind of perfect opener for Magic after losing the pistol round, just going on a force buy, Furia S purchase, like everything was pointing in the right direction for them, and they're back almost to square one in a sense, where if you look at their purchase, it's 2 for my, an A1S with full utility, and then AWP with no util, and MP9 with no util. Like, it's a very bare bones buy-up where you put a lot of pressure and it kind of comes down to this AWP on Selax.
Yeah. That's a huge investment for her. And again, you know, saving up in the 2 rounds back and getting all of those kills with the MP9 in that previous one really allowed them to bring that out for the second one, but it's a little bit of a glass cannon here. We've already breached onto the B site, and of course there was a far heavier presence over towards A. Why wouldn't they be? They've been hitting A so consistently. You reinforce it, and well, surprise! They're not going A this time. It would be really strange if they had. Ooh, Josie getting very cheeky here, unfortunately. Fully predicted. She does get shut down. The site was breached, but Bomb hasn't even made its way over yet. And I think that 4Magic are kind of reading too much into that. They're like, this could be a fake, so we're just going to keep chilling over towards A. I mean, the mind games from 4Magic are kind of on another level at the moment. Bob now planted, and I think realistically, there is kind of no other choice here but to save.
Yeah, that they have a kit on Anorex, but this whole round was postured up for a gamble and most likely a save to be called, even if it's like a 4 versus 4, which it was. So for Curralzinho, they have the reps on Mirage, and they're looking pretty good, despite being kind of on the polar opposite of 4Magic when it comes to experience and tenure. You've got the core of 4Magic who have played at multiple ESL Impact LANs with some of the best teams in the world that have ever come out of South America. And then you've got debutantes and Curralzinho. And yet, it's Curralzinho who take a pretty good lead on Mirage, but that save is going to be utilized. Another repurchase for the CT side. Oh,
it's actually quite interesting because...
Not.
Oopsie.
Oopsie daisies.
No one's going to see anything in the T-spawn. One of our big storylines at the last final was how it was all... Oh, that's rough. I mean, you know what? Selex takes full advantage, so
they don't know when
play to her. Oh my god, there's no way, bro. She's... Oh my god, how have you gone and done that? Josie, that's unfair. That could have been a 4th for Selex. That's actually a little bit rude. Alright, well, as Kellex casually clutches the round for her team by taking an aggressive position into mid, we'll go back to what I was saying a moment ago. She's done that specifically for me. Thank you, friend. But one of our big talking points of the last final was how it was all about the debutante derby, and it continues to be a thing. And I think that there's a lot to be said for a player who is veteraned. It's difficult to break bad habits. A player that's new and fresh can still be molded. And that might be what we're seeing here. You've got all of this kind of young talent, young blood that have come in and can be shaped and molded and turned into, or taught to be the kinds of players that, you know, Kara or whatever want to have on their team. And I think that that's actually, you know, you already have the firepower. You just mold them into the shape you want, and suddenly you've got a powerhouse.
Yeah, to be honest, one of my critiques of a lot of ESL Impact teams and roster moves over the years has been they take way too much stock in the old guard. In Europe, especially, I think there's a few players who, okay, were amazing. And you can give them that kudos, but right now, maybe not so much. But they still hold quite a lot of weight due to just their past. And I think we're starting to come out the other side now where we're seeing even the likes of Selex to an extent, you know, not someone that's represented one of the bigger teams. She comes in, has got 6 kills, and they both, and all of them come from 2 rounds. She's had back-to-back triple kills, and in both of those rounds she's got triple kills. 4Magic won out the round.
Starting to see some similarities with Lulitens.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, no.
Yeah, I mean, this is the second time that she's lost a duel from that exact position, and that completely capitulates the A site. All advantage that they could have had gets snatched away from them. Now, Curralzinho have full control of the site. Haven't been able to get bomb planted just yet as the reinforcements from 4Magic start to come through. Nice little Molotov there to keep things a little bit uncomfortable. Haven't actually had the opportunity to get that bomb planted, but they keep getting kills. And now, finally, they're going to be able to punch those digits in, get it down, and force 4Magic into yet another save.
That's really rough. 4Magic go for a very similar stance where they want to get aggressive in middle, and it really worked for them in the previous round. Most in part due to Elas getting a 3k, and also Curralzinho missing 2 window smokes, not really having the right utility, and kind of it being very flustered and janky. Like, that was one of those executes out mid and defaults in the last round where you can point and be like, okay, inexperienced team. This round, they keep things very simple, and even though Akane quite dreadfully misses a jungle smoke, they use that smoke to their advantage, with Catty getting a kill of her own, and the repercussions of that is a save being called. So for 4Magic, oh wow, Akane quick switches? That is very lucky she hits the instant headshot. And yeah, 4Magic, they just go for a play, it doesn't work, and then just we're never back in that round for the retake.
But losing Select so early on was such a problem. She was kind of the pivot point there. They set up their defense around her being able to survive and get that early info. So 2 rounds that it's happened is a bit of a problem. They've actually changed things up a little bit now, of course. Select's moving on over to the B site, and instead, Brandina is going to hold the ramp position. But we're trying to keep somewhat fluid and unpredictable, so Selex is going to make her way over towards the A site. But again, it's 4Magic with a much slower approach. Not wanting to be kind of over-eager or essentially catch themselves out. So we're going to go for a mid-push this time around. Haven't done too many of these thus far. Does force them to have to use a lot more utility, so they can't do as much contacting as they've done previously. And with all the utility that's been thrown, they haven't garnered a lot. That being said, they've pulled full rotations over towards this B site. Oh, Babs, beautiful HE to give her vision, and somehow she manages to duck and dive her way to safety, not getting caught out. Ana X is good for the first while trying to anchor towards the B site, but she does get taken down. However, she's bought enough time. Josie very quick to take out Akane as well. That's been one of the big issues for them. Nasty bit of util to come through, and Pack is now on her last legs. The bomb has been lost. 4 players strong on the bomb site here for Magic, and Selax, she missed the opening shot of the round, but she'll get the last one.
She's really given us the Luliten's treatment right now. 3 rounds, she's got kills him, a 3k, a 3k, and a double. And because of that, 4Magic have got 3 rounds. She's really given us the Luliten's treatment. And a very change in default for 4Magic, where they don't choose to fight for mid as hard as they did previously, and they allow for not a retake of the bomb site, but a denial of space taken when they get out of middle, and it works a lot better in their favor. And it's Selex once more peering for that opening kill, but she's not going to get it towards middle, as Curralzinho are entirely grouped up over towards A, with Cathy just throwing a bit of lurk utility over towards B to try and throw a ruse in the mix.
You look at an AWPer like Car or like Sophia, who have these crazy high opening frags, and that kind of allows the snowball to go through. Stellax has been struggling with these opening kills, but if she survives into the late round, she tends to have a lot more impact. Okay, barring that one round where she just went on like a crazy aggressive mission in towards mid all by herself. But a lot of the rounds she's been kind of struggling with those openers, but she can close. And that in and of itself does have merit. But now, once again, they've given over a lot of space onto the site, and there you go. A little bit later on into the round, she's given some time to stabilize herself. She's taken out Yu. She spotted one more, and I don't know why no one was watching long. They knew she was there. Kara's going to get shut down as well. She'll be the last to fall, and it's another round for 4Magic.
And it's another round where Selak's gets a multi-kill. She's really driving that narrative. And yeah, very similar to the previous, where they just don't allow for Curralzinho to ever get comfortable when they get onto that bomb site. And for Curralzinho, it's very difficult due to them having to purchase up while not really having all the bells and whistles. Like, I'm pretty sure Cara de Banana had a Glock and full utility. So she was kind of there just to throw support flashes, etc. But didn't get them very far. So the City Star is starting to rack up a few rounds and they're up against their first eco. Selax has taken more damage from her own teammates recently than the opposition.
That's rough. All right, heavy lean now towards apartments. Ana X, a nice forward position here. Oh, good flash. Forces her to have to tuck a little bit. Oh, it's a bit labored, but she's able to get 2 for herself. Swaps over to the USP. She'll go ahead and get a 3rd with that, with the help of Babs, who gets a double. And finally, a round that 4 Magic win, where Selax doesn't get a multi, or even a single kill.
Right, I'm going to change the parameters to fit my narrative. Okay. Selax has got a multi-kill in every gun round that or Magic have won. So therefore, my narrative still upholds. Yep.
And this is
unlucky.
How we abuse stats.
This is how you make stats fit your narrative. Curralzinho, though, after having a really good first half, and even though they lost against the half buys, still managed to sit themselves 5-1. They've let it slowly slip through their fingers, and there you go, Selax with the opening kill. Issue is, there's a sharp trade from you, so a 4 versus 4 that benefits the T side.
One of the few times, I think this is only the 2nd time Selax has gotten an opener. I could be wrong on that. My brain does tend to be a bit like a sieve. Ooh, Ana.
This is crazy.
This is cheeky. Oh, and they're not even looking for. Oh, she's turned away. That could have been so nasty. They are actually looking for it this time, so that'll allow her to potentially survive. She has been spotted out. HE doesn't finish it off, but the gun will. And there you go. Player advantage back in favor of the CTs. They've left the bomb site free and clear, but I love what they did. They reinforce Ana to make sure that she stays alive, but can they use that to their advantage? Akane is now traded out. Babs, player to watch, and that is what she'll be. Takes down Pack, comes to a 3 versus 2 now. Bomb yet to be planted. They have to keep clearing out. They don't know for certain where these last players are. And look at how they're just pushing the space here. They're not willing to give over the site unnecessarily. Kara brings it back to an even kill. Akane with a crouch peek gets 1, but it's quickly traded back, and now Josie versus Akane. Oh, and it's the young gun who comes out on top. Curralzinho, it's been a hot minute, but they get another round, and they'll go up to 6.
Got to really feel for 4 Magic, because this isn't the first time that they've left a bomb site to hard clear out middle, and then they haven't been able to get the retake going. But it's not even a retake, because the bomb never gets planted. And the reason why I say it's like hard for them is that they do everything correctly. Like, when I look at this, they play the round right. They play the numbers advantage, they clear out primary zones, and isolate the jewels. But they still lose the round because Akane gets a really nice 3k and also clutches up a 1 versus 2. So for 4 Magic, they sit in this 5-6 position, but a lot of these rounds that they've lost, they've played correctly. So genuinely a little bit unfortunate.
Double AWP now. Ana X, we know what she's capable of when she has this in hand. I do actually quite like this. I think this could be very cheeky. And look at Brendina as well, bringing up the rear there. All right, Ana, are you ready for this? Are you ready?
Oh, no.
Okay, that didn't do anything. That was very unfortunate, and she's forced to have to come off of the angle. The utility to pepper them down a little bit, though, does at least assist. But now she's on a pistol because she's up close and personal. That's okay. Babs is there to hold the line. The pistol pays off. She's somehow able to swap over onto an AK before she's finally cut down. But Kara's the last one left. The HE gets her dangerously low. There's still 4 players alive here for 4 Magic. The chances that Kara is able to clutch this are devastatingly low. And there, the final nail in the coffin. A 6-6 half.
Press play.
thank God for Babs. Thank God for our Kadia player to watch. We highlighted her as being ever so consistent in the final round of the first half. Saves the day on that B bomb site and really kind of saves the bacon for Anna X as she was in a bit of spotter bother. Going in second half though, very aggressive. Not even from Curralzinho, but just from Catty. Walks up mid by herself, and that forces 4Magic to accelerate over towards the A bomb site. Thinking that maybe there was more players out in towards middle, they meet a load towards CT, and yet still come away with us in the 2 versus 2. Babs and Selix, the 2 highest performing players so far on this squad, looking to close the day down. Akane, Kit, smoke dropped, Pack. 1 versus 2, that seems impossible, and as she swings out, the crossfire activates, and that is a great start to the second half.
It's actually kind of insane that this is so close, because so Babs and Selix are both in the double digits on 4Magic. No one on Curralzinho is in double digits. Their top fragging player is on equal frags to the 3rd highest fragger on 4Magic. Like, Curralzinho are actually not having a great run in terms of, like, fragging.
Been a lot of saves, to be fair, at the start.
Yeah, but it's still kind of a crazy thing to look at. But then you also consider the fact that Brandina is having a rough one. Like, 3 kills and we've just started the second half. She's not having a really good time of it. So you're relying on those other 4Magic players to pick up a lot of that slack. And, well, to their credit, Babs and Selix have certainly been doing that in spades. But maybe now on the T side is where we're going to see a little bit more out of Brandina. She's managed to get that opening kill, but unfortunately, there's going to be a trade-off here onto Anna X. She's done a little bit of damage, however, so might make this a little bit more contestable, but Akane now has a Galil in hand, so there is some potential here for some serious damage. Problem is, Selix has put herself in such a good position. I don't think they saw her necessarily cross, but you have to be aware of the possibility. Oh my god, Selix. Just keep padding those stats, girl. 16 to 6 at the moment. Ridiculous stats for her. And Akane will slip away into that good night.
In this series, Inferno is a real dark horse, if you excuse the pun, for Curralzinho, because we've never seen them play on it. They didn't play it in the qualification game to get into ESL Impact Season 8, and they didn't play it at all in that first game. So one would assume that for Magic, even though they have played Inferno and lost it against the Killers in the qualification games, they're probably pretty confident on that map. So if Inferno goes in favor of 4Magic, it's going to be a rocky road for Curralzinho, as there was certainly a lot of reliance on Mirage for Curralzinho last week. Like, they were good on the other maps, but it felt like Mirage, that was where they were the best on. So in series, they have to be getting wins here. So it puts so much importance on this first gun round where you gets the opening kill.
That's unfortunate. Onyx has been pretty strong of a pivot piece for the team as well. But Brandina, that's what I was saying, on the T side, maybe this is where she starts to get a little bit more momentum. She does get traded back fairly quickly, but she did what she needed to do. Trades out, and trades favor the Ts. So bomb should be able to get planted here. A nice little smattering of utility to clear out, make sure that there's space to work. And Babs is holding the murder hole, waiting for someone to try to get aggressive there. They make the right call. They're not going to do that. Instead, they're going to start pushing in from ramp. Unfortunately, you've got a lot of eyes facing in that direction. Now, they do have some util here for the retake, and with that first molly coming through, that should give away the game that it is going to be a push from that direction. A smoke to come out. Shot doesn't connect, just slightly mistimed the flashbang that allows them space to push through, but no real capitalization. Selix over the top, gets the shot connected, gets a second as well, and you know what? We'll just continue to make this a Selix masterclass as she goes up to 18 and 6 and brings 4Magic to 9 rounds.
That's crazy. And for Curralzinho, that round lives and dies with this connector push, or this connector setup, just getting one more kill, and also Kara from short pulled the trigger a little bit too early, and Eve could have denied the bomb going down and got a kill, but whiffs her line, and it means it's not a 3 versus 2, it's not a player advantage retake, it's that 3 versus 3. So a lovely execute 4-4 Magic. Despite losing the opening kill, they crunch TopCon magnificently. Little bait and switch. One player takes contact, then the next takes contact. And Selax not only sets up the kills of flashbangs, but also delivers the killing blow with the AWP. So Curralzinho, they have Akane on an A1S, everyone else on pistols, and it looks like it should be double digits for the favorites, and only a step away from winning out their opponent's map pick.
Kane's been incredible over the 2 series that we've seen. Okay, we're only on map 1 of this series, but like, for someone who came into this as a completely unknown quantity, it has been so cool seeing, you know, how much she's been able to achieve over the course of these first couple of weeks. But see if she's got more opportunities here. Good lord, you. All right, snappy first kill there. Unfortunately, however, this is looking like it's going to be a fairly telegraphed round. They've done some damage. Actually, they've done quite a bit of damage here. Oh, no. Oh, no. No. That started out as an oh, no, and it ended as a very different oh, no. Okay, but Akane can still clutch. HPs are low. Selex needs it. Nope, it's Selex. What am I thinking? There you go. They clutch out that round at the end, but it got a little too close for comfort.
Anything but a P2K. Anything but a P2K, and that's a round 1 for Curralzinho. That's going to be a very tough pill to swallow. And honestly, for Akane, I thought she had it just because we've seen her clutch up before this map. We've seen her clutch up a lot in the last series. She's surprisingly cold-blooded for a debutante. But a 1 versus 2 this time around, a little bit too out of her reach. Cara de Banana on an AWP is currently sitting 15 kills behind her adversary, Selax, who's just clutched up a 1 versus 1. Cara needs to step up, and it's impossible to match that scoreline now, but at least start to contend.
Unfortunately, with this like 4-round runaway that 4Magic have had, we're now in a position where it's much more difficult to start building up to something. Like, Karen needed to have been a lot more present in the first half as well. But there's still some time here. Perhaps she can step up. I mean, we saw some beautiful things out of her last week as well, but she needs to activate, and that has been somewhat of the problem. Holding that ramp position now. They've given up full control of the sites. They're going for the full retake scenario. She has managed to take down Babs, so that's one raid boss taken offline. Yu has also been taken offline, however, in the counter, so 2 kind of very strong stalwart players are taken off, and these trades are going very back and forth here. But with the bomb planted, there's definitely a favor for Magic. They just have to hold the line. We know where at least one player is with that HE coming out. That should give over the information onto the second. Brandina gets a beautiful shot connecting there. Stuck up top. Oh, Kara, we said she needed to activate. She does just that. The sneaky diffuse in the smoke. The spray doesn't connect, and Pack will clutch that round.
Pack throws a flashbang on the defuse and blinds absolutely everybody. Everybody's blinded by that one flashbang. And a very impressive retake for Curralzinho when you consider Jossie on the lurk gets 2 kills in mid and draws so much attention away from that whole retake. In the 3 versus 3, Catty is just hunting her down, and that adds so much time, or sorry, rather takes so much time away from the bomb. So a very impressive retake for Curralzinho. First round for them on the board. Kara's come online, but you need to be careful because for Magic, they are hot off the press.
Excuse me? Babs?
Okay.
What? All right, cool. It does get traded back, however. Oh, traded in triplicate, in fact. Quadruplicate. I mean, you know what? I'm not going to keep going with the numbers there. Ultimately, Curralzinho win the round. It was just a spray down. And they go up to 8.
really impressive from Pac. You highlighted her potential as an anchor and how even though on the score line and the kill line doesn't look like she's having the best of games or is anything too special, but on the eye test, especially on that quintuple quad overtime last week, there were so many instances on that B bomb site where you go, oh, she's just saved the day. And there you go. For Magic, get the opening kill, and in the end, it's Pac's 3K that is the winning number. And for Magic, this means they've lost their grip on this map. They were about to run away with this map. They were about to run away onto Inferno, but heroics from the likes of Pac on the anchor now mean this should just be a one-round game after this eco, and just making sure nothing goes awry against the pistols. And Catty's doing well just to say, yeah, okay, let's keep this calm. Sorry, did Akane not have head armor?
I'll be honest, I didn't notice, but it's not entirely unlikely.
It was just more so that that Glock killed very quickly.
I will say, I was hoping Brendina would start to step up on the T side. She was trailing devastatingly behind, only had 2 kills when we kicked off the second half. She's managed to pull in 8 and is now tied up with 2 of her teammates, and they're all kind of sitting at the lower end of their own team, which is huge. It's a massive resurgence from her. But I feel like it's going to take a little bit more if they want to keep holding on to some of the control that they had garnered. And I think we did also just have a little bit of a timeout there. Good call. Because losing this round could be very devastating for the 4 Magic squad. They'll have a decent little bit of loss streak bonus to keep them somewhat afloat. But if Curralzinho get up to 10, there is every possibility of them becoming a little bit of a runaway horse and carriage. Unstoppable, uncatchable.
This is a very lovely angle being taken up by Cara Banana, because we haven't seen her go for an aggressive peek towards short like this. Gets boosted into ladder, but unfortunately, NRX just jumping around. Like, that's such a hard shot to hit. And then Babs reads into the fact that she hasn't repositioned. So it's an opening kill before Magic. Cara down. There will be a trade back in middle before Magic still have that map control and have put so much pressure over towards this A bomb site. They've lost mid control. So there's just a solo Pac on this B bomb site. She stood above the rest before. Now needs to do miracles to save the day.
I was about to say, given who's still alive. I think this is so doable. Oh, Babs losing out that battle is rough, but now Pac's position is known. She'll get taken down. Selax will be the other anchor linchpin point once again. She's gone up to 20 kills now, but it's a 2 versus 2. Oh, Selax, where are you looking? Catty's able to win that one, and now Brendina has to 1v2. The first is garnered. She took no damage from that. Time certainly a factor here, but it is still on her side. Oh, she looks the wrong way. That was so close. But again, it's Akane. It's the young gun that we've been singing the praises of that clutches out yet one more round for Curralzinho.
Well, it's if we're talking about young guns and if we're talking about inexperienced players, Pac, this is also her debut season of ESL Impact. So you've got Pac and Akane just pulling Curralzinho, kicking and screaming over the finishing line, and Pac does so much work there. Not only is it 2 kills, but she just doesn't die. She survives for so long and allows for that retake to be possible. And it's Akane ice in the veins once more. Her clutch ability is through the roof, and it's so impressive for someone who, yes, is just so inexperienced. But Cara Banana, up against Tech9s, an aggressive AWP stance adds, you're asking for trouble.
And trouble came a-knocking. Ooh, that very nearly went. Okay. Somehow, for Magic, I love Tech9 rounds. I love them way too much. It is unrealistic how much I love these rounds. But 2 players left still standing here. A lot of damage done. Catty spray a little bit labored. HE comes through, does some serious damage, but Ana X keeps it contestable. Akane 1 versus 2. Oh, I was just about to start talking about her in the clutches. But Selax is still alive, and she will put that final nail in that coffin. And once again, 4 Magic will reclaim the lead.
Oh, that's going to be a really tough pill to swallow because it's just so silly. Like, you lose this round against Tech 9s, and it all stems from the fact that Kara gets killed in apps. It draws all the attention away from Shaw. That's how the second kill comes through. And then guess what? Akane dies to the AWP that's been picked up. It just feels like a very bad read of the economy. And because of that, Curralzinho may have just lost out on their map pick, as in round 22, trailing by a round, for Magic will be looking to book themselves into map point. Because if you take a look at the other side of things, you take a look at the economy, it's very, very poor across the board, and Yu's just been spotted out trying to get back into connector. So it's an opening kill for Magic. Catty spurred forward with a flashbang. There's only so much one can do.
I really feel like she needed some backup there, not just to kind of be solo running out, but unfortunately, that was all that could be done. Akane, because she didn't trade with her teammate or run with her teammate, is then able to hold down the line there, make it that little bit more contestable. There is no way that Kara has just done that. Okay, the AWP gets caught unawares. It's another weird eco buy because round win, because I think we saw this a little bit earlier. Was it from 4 Magic? Might have been. Well, I suppose they have revenge thrust upon them. We go to 11 all.
Sorry, who is Akane? Is this
to
not
the blind,
like...
she is sight.
Are we seeing like Poppins? Is this Poppins playing? Like,
Poppins 2.0, man.
How is this Akane's first season of ESL Impact? Like, last week, I pinned it down to a little bit of like, oh, you know, lucky first play, you know, beginner's luck, I guess. You know, it was nice. But I'm looking at this and I'm like, she's doing everything. She must be thinking is like, what? Like, this is easy. This is Impact stuff. This is a walk in the park. I'm just farming them. And as Select slows down, because she had 18 kills on round 13, Akane's just stepped up and taken her place. You're trying to get aggressive over towards B. No one's giving her a single look in. And of course, Pack's probably gonna be the one to kill her. Good evening. No one's watching balcony. Okay, this has actually gone really wrong now. Because Selex, she's done her job. She survived for long enough. She's taken all the rotations away, and Akane is now left by herself on the A-bomb site in a 1 versus 4 position.
And the funniest thing is that they can't just leave one person to try and deal with her because she's constantly such a problem. But Akane was alive. Akane lives. What? She gets 2 kills before she's eventually traded. Kara has also come online. Yeah, we called her out and she kind of told us to shut the hell up. Fair enough. We will take our medicine. And that's a round that Curralzinho clutch, despite the fact that Selex does so much to kick that round off. And it's Curralzinho who will now go up to map point. It is their own map pick. It has been labored. It has been difficult. But they're now on the precipice of snagging their map.
Is this like South America women's donk? Like, I'm sorry.
We were saying that about Poppins when she first rolled up on the scene, to be fair.
And, you know, she really lives up to that. Bit of land jitters here and there for Poppins, but I think when she gets over that, she's going to be a real rock star, more than she already is, which is terrifying, right? But that's against the point. I'm looking at Akane. I'm just... How is this her first season in ESL Impact? Like, what? I'm actually just in disbelief about her individualism, her confidence in herself. She's a stone cold killer and is kind of the only reason right now where Curralzinho are on 12. As for Magic, they're playing for overtime and they've got bare bones to work with.
We've seen them do more with less, and with overtime on the horizon, Ana X will get that opening kill onto Kara. An important one to get. Catty gets traded out very quickly. So still advantage for Magic. Bomb's been lost. Needs to still be recovered, and we need to kind of keep awareness for where these CTs are. Nice Molotov there to deny some space, allow that plant to come through. Beautiful timing. Pack smoked off, so she's not going to be able to see too much out towards mid. They've got a really good opportunity here. Nice positioning up in towards Palace as well. Selex with the Tech 9. unreasonable to get that kill onto Pack. I'm going to be honest with everyone. Oh my god, Josie. She's had a bit of a quieter second half, but when we needed her to step up, she's done just that. Now 1v4 stands between us and overtime. Can you do it? She's got a kit, but oh dear lord, she has been shut down. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're going to overtime. And why is it always Curralzinho?
Is there something in the water today? Like, is this cursed? Or is this just we're giving the viewers what they wanted to see? Don't say we don't spoil you, because it's another overtime here on Mirage. And
honestly, I blame Bull Kaiser.
Why?
Well, he's always cursing me with overtimes, or trying to anyway.
Oh, okay. Maybe you can put a spell on him. Not gonna lie though, put in a bit of the crosshairs on Cara de Banana in that final round of regulation, and she makes up with it though for an opening kill in overtime. It's Hayes' Law, a fellow South African. He always says the team who puts it into overtime shall lose the first round.
Honestly, that's valid. Why is that so valid? What?
It actually, if you think about it, it's like the team who always fails to close it out then wins the first round. That happened earlier today as well with Nemesis.
Yeah. And it's one of those things where you kick yourself because, like, why couldn't we do that one round ago?
We just do it.
Yeah. Hayes is the GOAT, though. Shout out. Ooh, Babs. Oh, she's dodged the flames. Oh, she's dodged the Cara. Oh, spicy. Oh, she's straight past the smoke. Oh, Cara's gone. And that space garnered, but can't get the second, unfortunately. But it is just a ruse. Smoke and mirrors. And as the bomb starts making its way towards this B site, Josie gets the kill onto you, but HPs are low and space is still not quite garnered. Reinforcements have arrived, but Josie continues to rain down vengeance upon them. But it's Akane. It's Akane in the clutch. Full HP. We've seen her in this position a million times before. She hardly ever fails us. And once again, she will continue to be devastation for Magic.
I actually just don't get it. How is she this good? Like, that's the third or fourth clutch so far this map. And at the beginning, you could see there was a lot of emotions brewing. She was yelling, she was screaming, she'd get that kill. She was really opening up her lungs. Now it's just ice cold. Ice in the veins. And this round, it felt like Babs had been shut down quickly enough, but she actually hadn't, because Yu's been caught off in a very awkward rotation as she was trying to move over towards A, and then Pack was left all by herself, and it was really good counter utility. Rotations were late, so Babs, our Kadia player to watch. Just one kill and damage and pestering over towards A was almost enough for her teammates to win out the 2 versus 4. But in the dying embers, that's when Akane steps up. And there you go. Hayes' Law, it was a little bit close, but it still comes through. Curralzinho couldn't close it out in regulation. They're able to win out the first round in overtime.
Gone back to the slower approach. This time around, it's actually for Magic, kind of cosplaying Curralzinho a little bit. Managed to bait out a little bit of that utility. Oh my god, the aggression. The aggression department. Oh, it's going to come to a head, and it's Brandina to get that first shot. Are they aware of the second player? Definitely an inkling had. Oh my god, Celax, how have you done that? She's managed to get both of those kills. I mean, that could be round, but Catty's still alive and Catty's still causing problems. The bomb's going to get planted, but the last 2 players have a massive rotation before they have a chance to kind of stop anything in any sort of situation. They're so split from one another as well, so timing is going to be important. They have to clear out so many angles. Celax has managed to get one. Josie ready and waiting for Akane. And very quickly off the back of the last round, they'll bring it back to an even footing.
Yeah, a lot better. A much better step in the right direction, as for Magic, realistically, should be the big favorites, despite me picking Curralzinho for mostly the vibes. 4 Magic should be winning out this map, and I think without Akane, they would have done that by now. But it's really good to see the likes of Selex and also the other piece as well stepping up. Like Josie's had a lot more impact in the second half than she did in the first, 100%. And also Brandina, you were saying, what, 2 kills at the half? It's just so much better for her. And for Curralzinho, I'm worried that they missed their opportunity to close out in regulation. That was a big issue last week when they had, what was quad overtime. Curralzinho, against the Killers on Mirage, had 12 map points in total. It took them 12 times to close out the map when they were on map points. So I'm a little bit worried now that we've seen them on that map point again, that 4 Magic might not give them that same luxury that Killers did to do it 12 times.
And I do believe that we actually have the record currently for most OTs in ESL Impact. And by we, I mean us and Curralzinho.
Wait, was last week them? Was that the record?
I believe so.
Really?
Lucy and Brandon were talking about a little bit earlier on, and it does appear that is the most OTs we've had.
Hardly. Really?
In ESL Impact.
1, 2, 3. There's only 4.
You say only. 4 is a lot of overtimes, really.
I think my record's 7, if I'm not mistaken.
That's unfortunate.
I think it was a full 2-hour plus best of 3.
Good grief. Okay.
It was MR 15 as well.
Oh, geez. Okay, yes, that would be a nightmare to...
Not best of 3, map. 2-hour map. Yeah.
I was about to say, 2-hour best of 3 is a banger.
Yeah. Anywho, look at this. 4 Magic. Look at the amount of space that Anorex has got given. She's just walking up connector while her teammates are coming out ramp. The opening kills are coming out for Jossie, and Anorex is still on the prowl. You's been spotted, and this is just a clinical execute for 4 Magic as Jossie snipes down 2, and Selex, the opening kill, back to winning ways for her on the AWP.
Yeah, clinical was the word I was about to use, right? Just perfectly executed utility, clears out all the hard to reach angles, flushes out a lot of those players, allows them to get the spray downs. Bomb's gonna get planted here, quick as you like. Sure, Kara's gonna get one back, but another Molotov to deny some space. The smoke now to deny sightlines. The HE to try and catch someone off guard. I mean, it's just a barrage of utility here to make Pack's day painful. It's incredibly painful, but it's 4 Magic with another very solid round, very cleanly executed, up to 14. Got debated there for half a second as things swapped out, and very close to once again being on map point here. And I remember, like, I messaged Affinity earlier, and I was like,
oh yeah,
bro, with the way the EU is going, and I know that the game that we have has the potential to be like 3 maps with OTs.
Oh,
I knew.
Okay, so my sleep schedule is to blame you then. Gotcha.
Yeah, 100%. I manifested this. I'm sorry.
Ooh, Cara de Banana though, a pretty rough start to the T side. She didn't activate at all with Yorp when they were on the attack, and that kind of worries me, because if you remember Selax, who still 28 and 13, you know, still pretty decent numbers, all things considered, got the majority of that though in the first half. So I'm a little bit worried for Curralzinho as 4 Magic have the advantage. It feels like they had the momentum. They denied Curralzinho winning it out in regulation, and 4 Magic are rotating to try and split up through connector, and 3 come out through a ramp. But Jossie is here ready and waiting to deny Kara and Catty.
Oh, Kara's taken down her counterpart. That is a very rough start to the round for 4 Magic. Selex has been instrumental in so many rounds on this map. Okay, but Josie with some beautiful timing. How has Catty got 2? How she got it done that? Britannia doesn't trade. So whatever kind of comeback that they were starting to mount in the round gets snatched away from them. Babs, however, just yeets herself into windows, able to get one. But now she's left all alone as Ana X, maybe a little bit too fast on the trigger there, gets taken down. The HE will chunk Babs even further. And this should be the call to just back away Curralzinho will bring us back up to 14. Around and around we go. Much like what we said last week, this stable is starting to look a little bit like a carousel.
Yeah. Kind of inanimate objects just going around and around in circles. As much as Kara has had a pretty rough game, and I think a lot of these rounds sometimes have been pinned down towards her making a mistake, her opening kill in this round sends ripples through for Magic, because you remove the Overwatch, you remove Selex, the heaviest hitter. That means the players coming out ramp are a lot more free, as they only have to focus on one player. And in Connector, there's also lovely multi-kills come out, Jossie swings, and Catty here getting 2 is probably the round-winning play, joining up with Akane and Kara. So a tactical pause, actually, for the CT side. For Magic, take their one and only pause in overtime to talk things over. Because again, when we were looking back at 4Magic's first half on their defense, a lot of the rounds were done correctly. They made the right steps, but the execution was poor. And that round there feels like another example of that. I like what they did, but it goes so wrong because Catty gets 2. Courage Banana gets an opening kill.
What was quite interesting was at the half, they were split down the middle on entries as well. So it actually made a lot of sense on that one. I haven't checked any updated stats because let's be real, we're still going. We don't have time for that. Strike while the iron is hot. Oh, Selex. Oh, we've seen her do this before. Oh, we've seen this movie. We know how this ends. But perhaps Curralzinho, having seen this movie before as well, will not be willing to allow the sequel to play out. Playing a much slower pacing here. Brother, there's no way. Karen looked like she was going to try and line up some util there so that they could swing the AWP, but maybe didn't realize that she was right in the line of fire. So Selex will return the kill onto her own counterpart, allowing for Magic to get a huge advantage into this round. Now the entirety of Curralzinho are, well, corralled a little bit into mid, but it looks like they're going to find a way to back away, start making their way over towards A through the T spawn. I was curious as to whether or not they were going to go for an apps pop, but no. They're going to start making their way over towards the A site instead, and Curralzinho, maybe not a full read on it, but they have kept this A site relatively well guarded, and they haven't moved Brandina from this position, so they know that they can't afford to over-rotate. She's in a good spot. Oh, spots the peak, and that's a beautiful jiggling, but she still actually gets one, and unfortunately, Selex misses the op shot, which means that she's going to be forced out of her position. Josie's forced out of jungle and shut down, but Ana X from mid is good for the first. Can actually clean up onto the last. Wasn't sure she'd be able to. And finally, Babs, who also makes her way through the jungles, will clutch out that final kill. And once again, 15 rounds, map point for 4Magic. I don't know why I said that P so hard, but there you go.
A bit of miscommunication. I'm not sure really what happened there, but Curralzinho running onto the bomb site. They get the entries, they force back the AWP, and then go try plant for top con when there isn't that necessary support, and it allows RX to thrive. It allows for her to get a clinical multi-frag. That means for Magic getting their first map point. And as I said, Curralzinho, they had that opportunity in regulation, and it's maybe all gone awry. They're putting a lot of pressure in middle. Yu, who's had a slow game, did get a sharp opening kill in that last round, but now it's being sent to control a lot of players' attention while her teammates line up smokes towards A. But the time is a little bit off because Yu's already disengaged. They can see that she's not here. They're able to clear out middle while Curralzinho are going on to A now.
Decent little smattering of util here. We've seen some really good stuff from Curralzinho from their execs, but there we go. There's the follow-up. But Brandina, she's come alive. It's on the CT side, and she's still putting up numbers, trading back and forth here. It is a brawl on the site, but it's Brandina. No ways, bro. Pistol in hand. A very quick bap for the final 2 kills at what looked like it could have been Curralzinho, pushing us into yet another overtime. Brandina clutches the round. What was that, a 4K to end
An
it?
ace.
Well done.
Did play this map, but they lost it against the Killers to qualify for ESL Impact Season 8 South America. So when we go on to Inferno, we can't, it's hard to talk actually about the map itself because, well, as I said, there isn't much. So with the individuals, what we can say is that momentum is going to be heavily in favor of 4Magic, and especially if they get a good start going on the T side of their map pick. And if we think about how they won map 1, Brandina getting an ace, a 1 versus 3, that never should have happened. Them denying the win in regulation, them denying the opportunity of second overtime. If they get a good start here, I think that's going to be super difficult for Curralzinho to actually get back into the game.
Well, let's see how it kicks off here. Whoa. Oh, that was decoy. I was like, what happened to the smoke? Okay. Kind of scared me a little bit there. Made our way up Banana, so control firmly in the hands of 4Magic for now. The slight smattering of utility gonna start to come through. We have heavily kind of reinforced this B site, 3 players strong, and with all that util coming through, they should start calling for reinforcements. Rotation's not gonna start to be coming through, but it's gonna be very difficult to survive on the site. How has Pac done that? How? Okay. Bit of a labored tap there. And unfortunately, it does mean that it stays on an even kilter. Perhaps that should have been a little bit more handedly in favor of 4Magic, but the bomb has been planted, and now it comes down to the retake. They have, in fact, invested into a kit. I love seeing that teams do that on the first round. Too often they don't, and it ends up biting them in the rear. But will they have the chance to even utilize it, as Akane will get yet one more kill here, making things that little bit more desperate and painful. Honor versus Kara. Honor, oh my god, dude! With like 6 HP, the snappiest shot onto Kara to clutch the first pistol.
Does that remind you of anything? Sidearm, winning out a clutch, a round that she never should have won. Does that remind you of anything?
Brandina, we're channeling right now.
Yeah, it's just back-to-back rounds in this series that 4Magic have won in a clutch environment, a multi-frag being needed, and for Curralzinho, it's just sitting back and being like, that was a round we should have won. 100%. So it's 4Magic, a good start on their map pick. They're able to close it out on the post plant, just about. Took a bit of individual magic, and it's going to be a full eco for Curralzinho. There's a singular nade brought up for Akane. I wonder if she's going to do something pretty with that.
Timing on this is going to be important, and I think that this is part of why 4Magic are playing that little bit quieter here, waiting to see if there's going to be some shenanigans with pistols running at them. But not to be the case. So now they feel somewhat emboldened. Start making their way up towards top Banana. They've got that control pretty easily now, and the smatterings of utility start to come through. Still waiting for that nade. Oh, there it is. Ooh, it didn't do terribly much. A little bit of chip damage onto Babs, but she's tip of the spear. She's generally not going to be surviving terribly long, and she does get taken out. I would have expected her to have at least taken one with her, but you know what? The rest should be mostly cleaned up. Akane not allowed to pick up the gun there. They keep it expensive at least, but yeah, unfortunately they're... Oh. Okay, a third is actually kind of nasty for that round.
Such a bizarre round from everyone involved, because that could have been so much cleaner before Magic. But also, there was definitely a conversation to be had that if Curralzinho, if a deagle shot connected for you, like that's a round 1 for them. That's an eco win. So close, great damage, and Curralzinho will be happy to come away from that with 3 kills, but also 4Magic, a bit of deep sigh of relief thinking, we didn't lose the round. So now we get into the meat and potatoes of things. We get into the first gun round. Pac dropping utility over towards her B defenders. And as the dance of utility comes over towards Banana, it's actually going to be 4Magic instantly pivoting over towards top brackets. But there's only 2 players here standing fighting.
they've managed to avoid a lot of utility damage, and their own utility has been so on point that Josie has now managed to crack things open with 2 kills. Yes, they do lose honor while it's happening, and Pac trying to hold on that anchor. This time around, not going to be able to get the same numbers that she'd put up previously, and just like that, Curralzinho forced to have to go into a save and hold on to these last weapons. And we talk about how important that banana control is, and I think like with the sheer amount of utility that comes out, you might look at that and think, oh well, nothing happened, everybody just wasted utility, but it allows for Magic a lot of time to get that rotation on with far less concern of there being anyone bringing up the rear, so they can really fully focus on the exec, and it pays off.
Yeah, don't allow for that information on B, starve them, and a really nice execute in top brackets. Flashbangs multi-layered, shreds through Cara de Banana. You as well, flashed under porch. And there was, I don't know what, like Pac rotated pretty much instantly, but never really committed to playing in the formation with her team. Like, she didn't come and play triple short and hold balcony. It was kind of sitting in library. It was a bit of a weird setup, I think, for this TT side. I don't know if Pac being in more of a aggressive stance would have made that much of a difference, but it's just something to note going into future. And before Magic, a very dominant lead. They win the first gun round cleaner than they did against Eco. But because 2 weapons get saved for Curralzinho, they're actually buying straight back into this. They're keeping that pressure alive, and they're going 3B once more, but this time they're staying with those 3 players towards B, and they're going to be looking to really take the control.
I mean, we saw some really good money farm on Mirage to try to get, you know, keep stability with MP9, so maybe we'll have a similar scenario here. It didn't really work out too brilliantly. Good lord, you. All right, those saved rifles certainly paying off here. All right, Pac gonna go ahead and make it that little bit more devastating. Double kill with the MP9. There's that cash farm. Kill into library as Babs starts to claw away back into this round. Selex needs to get this kill, does some damage. Babs to clean it up. Perfectly coordinated, but unfortunately, 1 versus 2. Too many angles to check, and finally, Curralzinho, with a unexpected buy, actually do manage to take the round.
And an unexpectedly clean round for that as well, because they had those 3 players towards B. For Magic rightfully identified that there is more of a gap towards A, and it's just these opening kills for you and Pac. Like, both struggled last round, but them combining and also no pressure towards apps really lets Pac thrive. So Curralzinho on the board and into the best purchase they have had so far. Cara de Banana with the AWP on Banana. Oh, it's giving me goosebumps.
Smokes have cleared. Now we can take that control. Smoke goes up.
There's a missed comm somewhere in there for Curralzinho, because Kara's holding the angle, and then she gets smoked off, and then she's still here. I'm surprised to see that she hasn't actually rotated over, because Curralzinho have put 3 players towards B and have no information, so they're just sitting here, and 4 Magic currently have the correct read.
Yeah, as soon as that smoke comes up, for Magic just decide, okay, well, never mind then. Turn tail, head back over towards the A site. Still a decent bit of utility that's slowing them down, slowing their progress, but we're getting close to the 30-second mark, so an exec's going to have to come soon, and unfortunately all of their utility has now been burned through, and they just walk straight into the blender. They do trade 1 back, but numbers advantage in favor of Curralzinho. They've managed to get themselves onto the site, however, and Selax, again, these Tech 9s just doing way more than they have any right to, brings it back to a 3 versus 3, with bomb planted now. We just have to hold the line. Nice little triangle set up here. Many angles covered and crossed. Looks like Anna X is going to be the first one to have some contact. She's going to have to call this very, very quickly. Never mind. Oh, they slow walk their way into the site. That gives 4Magic time to respond. They swing at the perfect time. And after losing a round, they snatch it back.
Akane almost 1v3s there, by the way, again, which is really funny. But just all in all, this is actually a really weird call from Curralzinho, and it just reads into this round very badly. After putting 3 players onto B early for Magic, they feign presence there, but Curralzinho, the issue I have with that round is that they don't have any top brackets control, they don't have any top banana control. You have a chain. And as soon as you lose control of both top banana and top brackets, that chain breaks. You have to have at least control of one of the primary zones so you can get information. And because they have no information, they've incorrectly stacked. They don't do anything with that stack. And then the players on A just get popped into, and they get very lucky they even get 2. Like, that round only is contendable because you is able to line 2 up on balcony, but they also have their issues on A bomb site where they can't commit to just playing together. Like, Yu's trying to play long by herself, Pack's trying to play like short mini pit by herself instead of just playing together as a 2. So you can start to see some of the teething issues on the CT side for Curralzinho on a map that they haven't yet got a recorded official on HLTV.
Okay. Not how I thought that round was going to kick off, I'll be honest. Free Mac 10 for Catty. Could potentially give it to somebody with slightly more HP than she has, but for now, advantage Curralzinho. Rotations have already started to come in. There is a nice little smoke that gives them a decent little bit of cover. Akane, well, just doing Akane things, I suppose. Finally does get overrun. Ooh, Kara, shooting the bodies. that turned out a little bit dangerous for you, didn't it? But Brandina has to 1v3 now. We've seen her clutch in a 1v5. But can she 1v3 to secure the round with 8 seconds left? Time not on her side. How have they gone and done that? Some of these rounds have been so weird.
Right. It's just so odd. Like, of all rounds, that's the one to win out for Curralzinho with just such a weird buy as well. Like, I was kind of looking at that thinking, what's going on? This is such a goofy purchase. And for 4Magic, like, they keep on... I'm sitting here thinking, how are they not 6-0, basically? So Curralzinho keeping themselves alive in this first half, but it's the Tech-9s out again. The Tech-9s are going very fast towards B, and oh
my god,
no. Babs has just got a double opener. Loads of damage has been inflicted, like so much damage, but in this position, because it happens so quickly, and because Curralzinho just can't, they're so far away from the retake. Sure, they get that kill on Celex, but the save kind of already has to be called.
Imagine being forced to save by Tech-9s.
Again.
Again. I mean, Babs getting 2 there is actually egregious. She should have been traded. And that's 2 free rifles for them as well that they can now take into that next round. And as you said, right, they do get the 1 kill on the lurk over towards A, but that really makes no difference whatsoever. And 4Magic are actually hunting. Luckily for Curralzinho, they made the right call not to save on the site, but instead to hightail it into the T-spawn. So they'll get to keep their guns. Ooh, and they'll actually get a kill onto Josie. Doesn't really make a difference. Josie had a Tech-9, so it's whatever. They still get to keep their rifles. Another really weird round, man. Like, what do you say about that?
It's just very disappointing for Curralzinho is that whenever they get a step in the right direction, they lose to Tech-9s. And so easy, like Babs just runs up and gets 2 kills pretty instantly as they were just completely unprepared. Save, though, is going to mean that another buy comes in. And a tactical pause, interesting enough for the T side, even though they did just win that round, they want to talk about how they want to go about now this gun round. And the fast pace with the pistols has been good. I wonder if there's going to be any more imitation of that in the gun round. But to be honest, it might not be necessary. And I really like how they've been approaching B, where they don't need to fight for it early. Curralzinho drop a lot of utility and don't get anything for that amount of utility they drop. So if 4 Magic just start playing or continue playing kind of late towards Banana, they're just going to continue winning this out. Oh, this is a lot faster. Oh.
Yeah, we're kind of egoing all of this utility. Oh, Akane gets caught in a very uncomfortable spot here. Curralzinho losing the banana control very early on.
Her teammates just leave her out to dry there. Like, she misses the jump, and her teammates have disengaged so quickly, and she's like, "Guys, where'd you go? I'm committed."
Team with commitment issues. It's rough out here. Ooh, 2 up close and personal in Boiler. Oh man, even with that reposition, Pack getting caught. I don't know why you re-peek that. Probably would have been better to meet up with teammates, but unfortunately she does lose her life, and well, that's round. Curralzinho kind of seemed to be collapsing a little bit. I mean, that first map looked so good, and now we're just seeing the weirdest mistakes from them, the weirdest, like, comm issues, leaving their teammates out to dry, like you said. Just very strange.
This is similar to the point I was making before. If you can kind of see some of the teething issues for Curralzinho, looking a little bit uncomfortable, and this time they're not going to be saving. Kara mollowed out, flushed out for Magic Gaming, 6-2 up on the T side of their map pick, and also break the economy of Curralzinho. They've been in this position before where they have like 2 A1Ss around an eco. They have one out. That was the last time they won a round. But overall, 4 Magic looked so much more comfortable. Like, from the opening kill to the A execute, they're playing with rotations. They're winning out the early rounds. This looks like it's about to be a very dominant map 2, which unfortunately feels a little bit underwhelming after such a strong Mirage for Curralzinho. But there were always just those question marks over their head on Inferno of like, we don't know what to expect from them. And it does seem it's somewhat of a repeat from last week where they're really good on Mirage, but don't have as much strength and aren't as resolute on the others.
Slight little tech issue, folks. Please do bear with us. I'm a little disappointed. I'll be honest, given how, that first map had gone so close, and we've actually seen Curralzinho do incredible, even in that series last week where they kept it so dangerously close, and that was over a course of 3 maps. It's not like any of those maps. Okay, the last map was pretty one-sided. That was like the 13-4 on +2.
Yeah.
Which again leaves some concerns for our final map should we go there. But the way that Inferno's going right now, I'm a little concerned.
Yeah, I'm a little bit concerned as well. I put a lot of stock on Mirage, and because it doesn't go in favor of Curralzinho, maybe this is where we start to rein it in a little bit. I've been throwing in a few horse punts, and I don't know if every single one of them have hit. Spurred on, I was quite proud of that.
I'll be honest, I often forget that that's even a horse-related thing. Like, it's become so commonplace that
It's a very common phrase, of course, yeah. Like, and then like to rein it in as well is like also you wouldn't put it necessarily, but because this is also the season of underdogs and upsets. So I was like, hey, Curralzinho, I'd love to see them get some of that fuel as well. And they actually go for a full purchase in this round as we come out of the technical pause. Like, sure, some people do have the money for a full buy. Some people really don't. And it's another aggressive play on the CT side where they go for a gimmick and they lose the opening kill instantly. It's the 8 anchor of Pack down as 4 Magic Gaming in this 5 versus 4. They don't have to do anything fancy. They just get this top banana control and freeze.
We've pulled rotations over as well. I'm not sure if they're expecting the push to come through here. Maybe they are because nothing else happened. Nice little bit of utility to help push them through. Get a couple of kills here. Make it somewhat expensive. Shot doesn't quite connect. Smoke blooms.
Wait, look at you.
Selex will back away. Oh my god. Beautiful. But she's gonna, get caught just as the smoke blooms. The timing on that was quite nasty. Selex just... I mean, she's only 4 and 7 at the moment, but when she does show up, she does it in absolute style. And Catty now is going to have to somehow 1v2. And you have 2 full HP players. They still have a smoke and a Molotov available. There you go. There's the Molotov to deny space. So that's going to force her to have to move towards library. And this position is being watched. Ana X ready and waiting. The shots don't come through. And now Catty has been spotted. And Onyx is just going to back away. She's just going to play bait. And, oh, Catty takes the bait. Walks straight into the crosshairs of Selex. And it's a 7th round for 4 Magics. For Magic.
I think we can put the S on there because it is just Magics right now. Like, they're just doing... It's all the magic. Oh, that's a crazy opening kill. I didn't realize Ana X just got it straight through the smoke. This is a little bit messy, though, from the T side, because they do read into the fact that there is going to be wow, that is a donkey shot. But yeah, like they read into the fact that there's probably going to be aggression on top banana. And just in that mid rounding, like they were very split out. There didn't seem like there was any clear idea. So the trades aren't as good as you'd imagine from them, but they still come away with a round win. Thanks in part to Selex, a massive triple from her, a hat trick of frags, as Curralzinho are forced on a proper force buy now, a proper half buy. It's just deagles, pistols, a single MP9, and an opening kill though on Brandina, who took a lot of damage earlier on to the util. But for 4 Magic, this is just going to push them in towards B. There's only 2 defenders, and the flashbangs and the entries in tandem are just super, super clean. Babs, great support flashbangs, and then she just runs with that.
Oh. Outrageous. Yep, this round was a little bit of a formality. I think maybe keeping that rifle may have been a good call. But that being said, we're getting closer and closer to the half, and they'll be able to buy into the next round. So trying to make some magic happen, not necessarily the worst decision in the world. Now, Pat, can we get a little bit done here? 1 kill for her. Maybe 1 more. She can hear all of the footsteps. They're coming for her. Ooh, very nice. A little bit of extra cash in the back pocket. That could actually, yeah, they'll be able to get an AWP out if they want to. That maybe will be the thing that tips things over for them. They need to get the next 2 rounds, unfortunately. If they don't, then this map, not with a bang, but a whimper, as they say.
So Ana X, by the way, has got 2 smoke kills, like full smoke kills in 2 rounds now. Stewie 2K reborn. And she's actually just charging up top middle. This is the first time I think we've seen Curralzinho properly take banana control. Character Banana is rotating back over towards A, but it might be... No, she's going to get there just in time, as it looks like 4 Magic are going to pop through apartments. Akane, is she also going to rotate? No, so there's only max 3 players here as the pop comes through.
That's unfortunate for Kara. Pack will try to keep it somewhat contestable, but the pop through apartments means that the site's been utterly overrun now. And once again, retake scenario. Babs ready and waiting, arms wide open. She's going to give these players a big old death hug. Well, 1 for now. Kane makes the right decision to chill, but unfortunately she gets swung on either way. Use the last one left. And... Ooh, free kill? No. And now they know where the AWP is. Oh, there we go. She'll be able to get that kill. It's not really going to make too much of a difference. They're going to hunt her. They want to take that AWP away. They don't want them to have that into the final round. And there you go. It is snatched away. And the best that Curralzinho could hope for will be a 9-3 half. But will it be allowed? Money, bit of a problem.
You can just tell that on the CT side, unfortunately, Curralzinho just don't really seem ready. Like, they're not expecting a lot of these hits. In this specific round, you have you and Pac playing more for a brackets play. And even though Banana's fully in control of the CT side, you know, there's only one player that's rotated over. Akane's still kind of hanging around for no reason. So just keep on being caught off guard at Curralzinho as 4 Magic looking to most likely get double digits going into this second half. 3 players B, and they've already been chonked down massively from grenades, despite some of them actually missing.
Ooh, using a good spot here, but playing with fire. Waits it out beautifully, but unfortunately, only good for 1. Honor X to get 2. Babs continuing to be a demon, but okay, we've taken some control here in Banana somehow. The MP9s, it's Akane. Don't say how, it's Akane. 2 versus 2 now, and somehow...
Oh, I love this. This is such BM.
Oh.
This is such BM. The fact that they take, like, they drop the smoke, they put util, they cause this CT push up middle to be very delayed, very lumbered, and the bomb's been planted on B. They'll hit that Molotov and just go, but Akane's still alive, and she's got a kit.
Yeah, well, they've got a smoke as well. They could smoke the bomb. There's an HE to clear if necessary. Oh, there we go. They've picked up that second smoke. Nice. So that should give them a little bit of a safer push in towards the site. The flash to come through. Stellax, you're actually unreasonable. Like, you're actually just freaking unreasonable. Honor X to follow up a 3K for her. And it's a 10-2 half in favor of 4 Magic. Curralzinho have a serious uphill battle ahead of them.
2 a.m. in the morning, and your anxiety's calling. You lay in your bed, but it feels like you're falling. Do you recognize that feeling? The demons under your ceiling, when everything hurts and nothing is healing. Yeah, I don't even wanna be awake, cause every second that I live is like a wasting. Can you help me start a replace? All the memories that stand in my ways. You know what I really hate the most is that happens to me is like a ghost. It's so far away. Oh, you wanna be okay? Tell me, why should I stay away? If only dreaming can erase the pain. Tell me, why should I waste another minute staying in this critical phase? I'm just praying for some better days. I'm just praying for some better days. I'm just praying for some better days. Some better days. Some better days. I'm just praying for some better days. It's too late in the evening. I should probably get some sleep, but I just can't seem to set my mind at ease. I can find an escape. There are many doors I would take, but I can't make one of them become a way. So I'm drowning myself in the media, cause I don't wanna face what I'm feeling, yeah. I am scared of fighting this alone. I've tried to turn on the light, but my demons know how to hide. Lately there is just no end in sight. Tell me, why should I stay away? If only dreaming can erase the pain. Tell me, why should I waste another minute staying in this critical phase? I'm just praying for some better days. I'm just praying for some better days. I'm just praying for some better days. Some better days. Some better days. I'm just dream.
The ponies are being put out to pasture. Double digits in the first half for 4 Magic Gaming. They are the favorites coming into this best of 3. But after such a close-knit Mirage, we expected at least something on Inferno, but it's been such one-way traffic.
It's been very rough to watch, to be honest. And already Full Magic had given themselves a huge advantage into this round. Honor X has massively stepped up in the last handful of rounds, but is it going to be enough? She's keeping it hot and contested, but Akane shuts her out. Josie with the dualies has to go on a very far traveled course. Gotta get into a bit of a gallop here. Oh, the swing is wide. Mustang swing, if we're keeping with the horses.
Ooh, that's good. I like that a lot.
Thanks, I just thought of it.
We out here in Texas. What's a Ferrari peak? We're a Mustang peak.
Oh, wowie. Outstanding.
Anyways, Counter-Strike.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
That's an important pistol round to win, though. So
It is.
yeah. Looks like it's going to be a bit of a downward trajectory from here, though.
Yeah, like it's an important pistol round to win, but it's like this is when it starts to matter, though. Like that was just it. That wasn't. Oh, you've done it. That's the key to the kingdom. It's like that was the first step in many. It's like a yellow brick road. There's thousands and thousands of bricks, and they've only just continued. What's happening on short? Celex and Anarex were just like laughing at each other. So you can tell the vibes are very different in both camps. As the T side, they are going to go into A, but there's 4 players here.
There were 4 players here.
That's
oh,
one, by the way.
Stellax. All right, it just pushes straight through the smoke. Oh my god, it's happening again. Oh, the MP9s. Oh, it's just devastation. And yes, that is the bomb gone. Akane is off on a bit of a flank here. Okay, if somehow she'd lost that fight, I think I might have lost my mind.
It's Akane.
I'm
She
not
never
sure
loses
what
any fights.
This is fair. I'm not sure what the plan is. Oh no. Oh, it's just, smokes are just a suggestion. And Akane has to 1v3. Now, if anyone could do it, I would put my money on her. But with a Mac 10, it seems unlikely. So she's going to make the right call here. With 10 seconds remaining, she's going to back away.
Yeah. Just unfortunately, it's like this doesn't feel very possible. Oh no. Curralzinho have won 3 rounds so far on Inferno, as you can see. None of them have been in a successive fashion. And it hurts even more to know that this round was actually an opening kill. And then it all falls apart because the Mac 10s just push through multiple smokes. And Akane, who saves the Mac 10 as the best purchase, as everyone else around her is on pistols to see if they can try and fight for salvation and to maybe end this map off in regulation. But it's just getting worse and worse as they also miss their banana smoke.
Yeah, it's probably a good time to just talk a little bit about the mental. You know, during the halftime break, we got word that things were looking a little bit dour in the Curralzinho camp. And I think that, you know, it was something that you'd mentioned at the end of the last map, you know, after the way that map ended, it got so incredibly close. And you can definitely imagine that particularly some of the newer players might be struggling a little bit with kind of bouncing back in and how to deal with that mental load, the toll that it takes on them. And to find out that things were looking a little bit quiet in the comms during the halftime, it does tell a story. It paints an unfortunate picture. And I think that perhaps Curralzinho The new players might have a lot of firepower, but there's still a ways to go before they're going to be able to really go toe-to-toe with some of the more seasoned players here. That being said, maybe there's a world. Babs has made it an impossible world, unfortunately. With 2 kills as she anchors sight, Akane with an AK in hand can try to keep... What? It's Akane.
Ow.
What am I saying? Taps the bomb, tries to bait out Selix, but will Selix miss the shot? She does. Oh, dear Lord. She misses the shot. A flash to come through, but she's just in front of the flash, so it doesn't connect, and it's Selix's USP that comes out on top of that one. Akane, you've been a rock star, but in that moment, Selix comes out on top.
Oh, it's so unfortunate. Akane didn't realize it, but she actually had so much time to play with. She could have got those 2 kills, kind of sat back, reloaded her AK that she'd picked up. So really unfortunate for her, but it's for Magic going on to now map and series points for them to go 2-0 in this main Swiss. Join up with the likes of MWR and the Killers. And unfortunately for Curralzinho, despite them playing very contestable Counter-Strike and for them actually being very impressive, they are looking like they're going to go down 0-2. It's the opening season for a lot of these players, and then the other players who have at least got 1 or 2 seasons under their belts, they don't exactly come from the top level and the top teams. So some teething issues to be found. And now they look like they should be running into the AWP. Stellax, even though she's blind, she still atomizes them. And as Carrot, Banana, and Pack up against the world, Stellax is still just re-peeking in. There is no rest for the wicked. And Curralzinho go down in a whimper on map 2.
It's devastating because both times that we've seen Curralzinho really do well, really put up numbers, it's been on Mirage. It's been on their own map pick. Also, I just saw one of the players put a cast on. That is insane.